we are going to emphasize upon relationship variation of conductivity and molar conductivity with concentration or dilution. So variation of conductivity, that is kappa, and molar conductivity, that is lambda m, with concentration or dilution. So we know that concentration is equal to number of moles per unit volume. Okay. Now, if we see this graph, we discussed this graph in the classroom. If we see this graph of molar conductivity with square root of concentration, then for strong electrolytes, when you actually decrease the concentration in this direction, concentration is decreasing. That is, when you dilute, concentration decreases. So for strong electrolytes, the graph is actually a straight line. So basically what we can say, that the molar conductivity for strong electrolytes is increasing, but the increase is very gradual. So is increasing with decrease in concentration or increase in dilution. When you extrapolate this line, it is going to intercept it, the y-axis. So this value, which is the maximum value of lambda m, that is possible for the strong electrolyte. That is possible for the strong electrolyte is called limiting molar conductivity, lambda not m, limiting molar conductivity. And if you see this same graph for a weak electrolyte, suppose you are talking about acetic acid. So I'll write down acetic acid is a weak electrolyte. For this weak electrolyte, the change again is gradual. There is increase, but there is a sudden rise in the value of lambda m, that is molar conductivity, near zero concentration. So that means when the concentration reaches zero, that means at infinite dilution, what happens? The dissociation of acetic acid into ions is complete. Okay, complete meaning it doesn't dissociate completely into its ions, but whatever ions are going to be dissociated, that number of moles of ions has dissociated at this particular concentration. So since more number of ions are present, lambda m value increases. But since this is a curve, इसको extrapolate नहीं कर सकते, और ये कहाँ जाके इंटरसेप्ट करेगा वाई एक्सिस को, ये भी नहीं बता सकते. So for weak electrolyte, value of limiting molar conductivity cannot be calculated. This relationship actually is derived from the following equation: lambda m is equal to lambda naught m minus a square root c. Okay, where lambda m, you know, molar conductivity, lambda naught m, limiting molar conductivity. A is a constant which depends upon the type of electrolyte. For example, if you take KCl, this is 1,1 type of electrolyte. Why? Charge on K is +1, Cl is -1. But if you take MgCl2, this is 1,2 type of electrolyte. If you take CaCl2, this is again 1,2 type of electrolyte. So for these electrolytes, the value of A will remain constant. For such type of electrolytes, value of A will remain constant. So A is a constant which depends upon type of electrolyte, and square root C we know is concentration. Okay, so but this is only applicable for strong electrolytes, not for weak electrolytes. For weak electrolytes, we are getting a different curve. This is not a straight line. Okay, how do we get the value of A? When you plot this graph of lambda m and concentration C, the slope of the graph is minus A and slope will be negative. Slope is equal to minus A. So the slope will also be negative since it is going in the decreasing order. Slope will be negative. This is minus, minus, minus will get cancelled. So whatever slope you are getting, that will be value of A. This is how we get the value of A. Okay. And lambda naught m will be the intercept present on the y-axis. This value will be lambda naught m. So hope you got this. Now if we see, for strong electrolytes, lambda naught m limiting molar conductivity we can calculate, but for weak electrolyte we cannot calculate. So there is a law to calculate limiting molar conductivity of weak electrolytes. That law is called as independent migration of ions. So this is law of independent migration of ions, and this was given by Kohlrausch. So we call it Kohlrausch law of independent migration of ions. Now it says that in a solution, when you dissolve any electrolyte, so when you dissolve the electrolyte in a solution, it is going to produce positive and negative ions. Correct? And they are going to contribute towards total molar conductivity. So the total molar conductivity of any ion, any electrolyte, will be equal to individual conductivities of cation and individual molar conductivity of anion. So this is individual molar conductivity of each ion. When you join them together, you get total molar conductivity. And since we are talking about limiting molar conductivity, you simply have to add lambda naught m. Okay. So suppose if we are calculating lambda naught m of NaCl. So lambda naught m of NaCl is equal to lambda naught m of Na plus, this is small lambda, this is capital lambda, plus lambda naught m of Cl minus. Similarly, if you take a different electrolyte, suppose CaCl2, so CaCl2 is going to produce Ca plus 2 ion and 2Cl minus ion. This is important, that is why I gave you this example. So limiting molar conductivity of CaCl2 will be equal to lambda naught m of Ca plus 2 ions. But since 2 ions are present over here, this will be 2 into lambda naught m of Cl minus ion. So this is lambda naught m individual molar conductivity of Cl minus multiplied by 2 because we have 2 Cl.